Guys, I'm back with yet another video. And this video, we are going to discuss about the private residencies. The last video, we discussed the on-campus student accommodation and the private student accommodation for students. This video, let's discuss about private residencies. Hi, I'm Faria. If you're new here, I am your international friend living in the UK. And this video is all about how to find a room for yourself in a private residency and more about it. Let's get going. So, first question is, how can you find a room in a private residency? Like, what are the websites or applications, etc. Then various applications like Zoopla, Rightmove, Spare Room, etc. There are also Facebook groups which have listings of rooms available. You can check over there as well. But remember, no matter what platform you're using, always double check the information being provided. Do not just blindly trust anything. Do not send deposits without being sure that the next person is genuine and it's not a scam, because scams happen every day, my friend. Okay. So the application which I used to find a room in a private residency was Spare Room. I found a room using Spare Room, and the process for any platform will be pretty much the same. And all the points that we're going to discuss today are definitely going to help you with your bookings in the future. So the first step was to create an account, of course. And then I had to filter out on the basis of what are my requirements, like the city, of course. You'll search by the city first of all. And then there are more filters like who would you like to share the house with? If let's say you're looking for an all-female house, let's say you're looking for a short-term stay, etc., etc. So once you open the application, you have all the filters over there. You can also put the budget over there, like the monthly or the weekly budget that you're having in mind for your room. All those things, all the filters are available on the application. So you just have to put in all the details, and then you can start finding a room. You'll get all the listings of the rooms available, of all the houses available. And then what you're going to do is you're going to message these landlords. Okay. And make sure the message is not just like, hey, I'm looking for a room. Do you have a room available? Hey, I just want to move in. No, the message has to be official. It has to look formal. Um, and for any landlord to reply back to you, your message has to have information like, who are you? What are you doing? And why are you looking for this particular room? All right. So don't make it a very long story, but then a crisp and a clear message will help the landlord decide if they should respond back to you or not. Okay. So that's how you proceed with getting in touch with the landlords. And then once you get in touch with the landlord, make sure everything is genuine. You know who the landlord is. You know that everything is happening officially. Don't just believe on WhatsApp conversations. No, do not pay any deposit or sign contracts if they are sent just on WhatsApp. No, because that's not an official platform to trust anyone or do legal things. All right. So understand this, that when you are renting a room for yourself, and you're signing the contract, it is a legal thing happening. Okay. You might not understand its seriousness, but trust me, my friend, if you read the complete contract, you'll know that this is no joke. Okay. It is a legal thing that you're signing. So make sure that you're very sure about whatever you're doing. Okay. All the bookings that you're doing, you have to know that things are genuine. You have to know that the landlord is genuine. And only then, when you receive things officially, that's when you're going to do the deposits or whatever. So, well, that was about the applications. Now, the next point you can consider is whether the landlord is a live-in landlord or a live-out landlord. Okay. So in my case, it was a live-out landlord, and I feel like it was sort of a disadvantage for me, because whenever there was something wrong in the house, let's say there was no hot water running or something, let's say something went wrong in the house. Okay. So we had to bother the landlord time and again. And the response and the action taken wasn't quick. And it was a really frustrating task. Uh, so I felt like it was not an advantage to me. I feel like if the landlord is a live-in landlord, it would be more better for me. But it's a personal choice again. You might prefer a live-out landlord as well. But to understand this better, you can do one thing. Go to ChatGPT or any of the AI that you use every day, like ChatGPT, Claude AI, or whatever, and type in a prompt saying, list out the advantages and disadvantages of a live-in landlord and a live-out landlord, and you'll get the complete information based on which you can decide what is good for you and what is not. Okay. So that's the second thing that you'll have to check. Now, the third thing that you can consider is the bills. So in the previous video, we discussed about bills and how things are, the rent includes all the bills when you are in a student accommodation. But when you are in a private residency, bills are usually not included in your rent. Or even if it is included, there will be a cap on the things like the number of hours you can use the heating, etc., etc. There'll be a cap on it. Like, let's say if you use it beyond that particular limit, then you'll have to pay extra every month. Okay. So that is another thing. So you'll have to check with your landlord whether the bills are included or not. If the bills are included, is there a cap on the number of hours you can use the heating, or what will happen if you use heating beyond a certain point? Everything. Okay. And if the bills are not included, then you'll have to ask and understand how is it going to be, like how is the amount going to be split, how much extra is it going to be every month on top of the rent and everything. Because this is definitely a big point to consider. Let's say if you're paying 450 rent and then you're paying 200 or 100 extra for the other bills, then the total comes down to 550 per month, right? So you'll have to be very calculative while you are picking a house again, and you'll have to be very cautious with the bills factor because it is a big thing. Trust me, it is a big thing. Many a times in the contract, you'll find a term which says fair use policy. If you find this term in the contract, please get in touch with the landlord and understand what is fair use policy. What do they mean by fair use policy? Because if the landlord says that the bills are included in the rent and then you find fair use policy in your contract, then it means that there is a certain cap on the number of hours you can use the heating, the water, etc., etc. So be a little cautious, and if you find this term in your contract, get in touch with your landlord, ask them, understand what is this fair use policy. Okay, because it's going to be another headache every month if you are using the heating beyond a certain point and you have to pay extra amount every month, and it's going to be a really big headache. Trust me, this is exactly why I told in the previous video that I will tell you why I would not suggest a private residency if you're a student. Because when you're a student, everything is covered. So you're not worried about anything at the end of the month or the start of the month. It's just like you pay the rent and boom, things are done. Things are sorted. You are in your house. But when it's a private residency, there are things which you'll have to consider time and again. The bills are not included. Even if they're included, there are things like there's a limit on certain things. So these things definitely have an impact on your study schedule, your life in general. Yeah, and this is exactly why I was talking about why I would never suggest students to stay in a private residency while they are studying. The next big point, a very important point, is you have to check what are the grocery stores or the convenience stores available near your place. Usually, the grocery stores which have stuff on cheaper side is Aldi, Lidl, Asda, Home Bargains, etc. And slightly on the higher end, it's Tesco, Tesco Express, etc., etc. But again, you have to make sure that you have at least one or two options, if not all, one or two grocery stores nearby your place in walking distance of 20 to 25 minutes, not more than that. Now, let's say if you're a university student or even if you're a professional working, right? You will have to calculate how far is the bus station, the train station, or if you have trams in your city, then the tram station, etc. Because if your place of work or your university is, let's say, very far away, you will have to take a bus or a train to this place, correct? So at least these links have to be close enough to your place in walking distance. Okay. So that's the next point that you can consider while booking a place. A very important step before you proceed with the booking is you have to make sure that you do a viewing of this property. Do not trust what's shown in the pictures. Images are deceptive, guys. Okay, so you have to make sure that you book a viewing for yourself. Ask the landlord to arrange a booking. If you're not in the city, do a video viewing. If you are in the city, go do an in-person viewing of this place. Because many a times in the pictures, things look really pretty, but when you actually go to that place, you'll get to know many other things like is there mold in the house? Is the house too cold? Is the house too dark, etc., etc. And if you're doing a in-person viewing, you also get a chance to see who are the tenants who are living there, and you can also have a word with them if you have any questions in mind, correct? So these are the things that you can consider while booking a room for yourself. And please remember, do not book a place, do not book a room for yourself without doing a viewing. Just on the basis of pictures, please do not proceed with the booking. These are the points that you can consider while you are about to rent a room for yourself in a private residence. With that, we are closing this video. And if you have got any questions, make sure you drop them in the comment section and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. I'll see you around in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.